But coming up next, we have more games today, as we have MbL versus Zuppi coming up next. I'm really looking forward to this set, actually. Obviously, we've seen a lot from MbL recently in AC. He's been streaming a lot. He's been playing a lot, as always. And I think it's going to be a nice match because Zuppi's a fantastic player, but also Suomi as a whole have been playing extremely well over the last 3 events. We know that Suomi are a little bit weaker in 1v1 compared to team game. But when we look at the standings here, we can see Suomi just behind Frantic by 1 point and AM behind Suomi by 3 points. So this is an opportunity for AM to potentially retake or take 4th position from Suomi here, and maybe even if AM put in a good performance, they could even take 3rd spot from Frantic and start pressuring 2nd as well, because that's what they're playing for. They're playing for 1st and 2nd spots. At the end of the league, the first 2 teams, or the top 2 teams, will go through to the LAN final at the... well, actually, I don't know where it's going to be yet. We'll find out where it's going to be eventually. So we will be right back. First of all, before I do anything else, I'm going to shout out some things. Let me just get up our notifications so I can see who's subbed, who's dropped some bits, and who's done all those other good things. Let me just have a quick look at that now. Put the music back on as well. Alrighty, so thank you very much for the support, guys. We had a Beast Cracer subscribing with Prime, Ghost of Yoda gifting a sub to Ornlu, Elvanor gifting a sub to Memb. Thank you, guys, appreciate that. We had Ewok Impy giving us 100 bits. Thank you very much. The Pico donated $5. He said, hoping for more Finnish success in this game too. Easy for Ents. The Pico's up with his CSGO memes. Thank you for the $5. Elfish, thank you for the bits as well. 1,000 bits in total. Appreciate that. Are 1k bits enough for mod? Ask Robo. And Smarthy for 100 bits. 150 bits as well. Unleash the Robo. Well, we have unleashed the Robo. He's here casting today.
I am here. And I'm back.
He is back. I'm going to go grab a quick water. I'll be right back. And we will get our 3rd game going between MbL and Zuppi. Just a moment here.
We'll have like maybe a couple minute break.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Alrighty, we're back. MbL versus Zuppi coming up next. We're going to take a look at the upcoming maps. We've got Riverbed, Hillfort, and Atoll. And apologies for Hillfort there being grayed out. We actually failed somehow and didn't put the coloured version in. We only had the black and white version. But Riverbed, we haven't seen that map yet. We haven't seen Hillfort yet either. And of course, we've seen Atoll twice now already. But I like these maps. I like them a lot. We've not seen Riverbed before ever, but Hillfort I'm quite a big fan of. So we'll take a look at those in a moment as we go into first game. But MbL and Zuppi, Should be a nice one, actually. I'm looking forward to this.
And Riverbed's a bit of a wacky map. So it'll be interesting to see how players are prepared for this map and what they've got in store for us.
Riverbed's definitely wacky. We'll launch the game now, and we'll show you what we're talking about, as it takes advantage of that amphibious terrain, which was introduced with the Rise of the Rajas expansions.
Yeah, so we get to see boats and land units and buildings all intermingling in the one place.
All on one.
That's what we're going to be seeing.
Let's go. Welcome, everyone. MbL versus Zuppi, round of 16 for the Southeast Asia 1v1 stage of the ECL. We're here on Riverbed with MbL versus Zuppi, and to the north in the blue, representing Aftermath, we have MbL. He's taken the Spanish. And then to the south in the red, representing not Nabs, Suomi. He's got his Nabs clan tag on. We have Zuppi playing as the Chinese. Map is Riverbed. Robo, talk us through the map.
Well, interestingly, you start with a fish underneath your TC, which is really good. You always have a consistent start. It's kind of like King of the Desert Arabia, where you always have a goat, but this time it's a fish that gathers really quickly.
This is super good for the Chinese.
Yeah, obviously for the Chinese, right? You start creating villages instantly. He's about a vill and a half ahead of MbL at this point, maybe even 2 full vills almost. Yeah, so he's nearly 2 full vills ahead, which is insane for Chinese. Otherwise, you've got your 2 normal boars, or in this case elephants. You've got some water buffaloes. There's a little bit of gold, a little bit of stone, and very small wood lines.
Yeah, the wood lines are pretty tiny in the actual riverbed.
Yeah, where you start out.
Yeah, and this sort of mangrove terrain here, which kind of looks like shallows, but isn't. You can build on it. You can put boats on it. You can put land units on it. There's nothing that this terrain can't do.
No.
Except block things.
Basically.
Because everything can go on it.
So yeah, you have to build walls basically if you want to stop things.
Yeah, pretty much.
But then you've also got these random little ponds that you can't wall on. So you have to wall around them and do all
it,
sorts of weird things.
It gets fiddly. And then you have this grey terrain.
Yeah, these rocky hills.
Which you cannot build on.
Nope.
At all. So it's not possible to wall properly. You can wall across, but you cannot wall this. So it's going to be open around the edge.
The scouts can always run around, something like that.
Around, yeah.
It's just, you can wall off boats in theory, but you can't fully wall off land without doing a semicircle sort of thing.
Yeah, right. You'd have to sort of wall along this whole edge if you wanted to really stop anything coming through, which is a bit unreasonable, and maybe we'll see something like that. And then, of course, that's the riverbed itself in the middle of the map, running through the middle. And then at the edge, you've got this hill, which allows you, the hill bonus going down, but also you have a lot more wood out here.
And various other resources as well, right?
Yeah, some stones, some gold, some berries, some water buffalo. It's a bit of a mix, but certainly I'd say a bit more of a reliable wood source if you can defend it.
Yeah. So the idea is you start on the riverbed and then at some point you have to expand outwards to one side or the other, or maybe even both if you're feeling adventurous, to get the extra resources and the more secure economy, basically.
Yeah. So we've got Zuppi scouting out quite forward right now. MbL scouting out as well. Obviously, as you said, the Chinese, fantastic civ for this map, starting with the extra villagers and having pretty much no TC idle time because of the fish under the TC. Not only are they able to gather with all their villagers on the fish, but it's the fastest source of food in the game. So they are able to gather very quickly, and they're able to get the TC running. You can see that essentially means a 2 villager difference at this stage, which is huge because that's 2 villagers working for the entire game.
I'm so surprised MbL hasn't finished off his fish yet, though. But that's
the fish in the middle?
Yeah,
still 90 left.
I would have thought that you finish that as quickly as possible because you only need 4 villagers on fish to keep making villages constantly.
It also kind of blocks the
the positioning.
The positioning. You can't actually put a boar here
very easily,
or anything there if the fish are still there, because it does block them.
Right.
But what we are seeing at the moment is both players are starting to wall up a little bit. They've both done loom, so they're extra safe, and of course MbL will be thankful for that, as the alligator doesn't maul his villager to death.
my problem with MbL's walls is that they don't stop boats from coming in, right? So
no, that's true.
Demo ships can just fly straight through there, straight into your wood line, and explode 4 villages at once. Whereas if you ever look at Zuppi's walls, he seems to be trying really hard to avoid walling ponds. Oh, well.
He might.
Hopefully
yeah,
he walls across
this
the
is
front of
open
that.
here. This is open here. Zuppy's a bit further behind on walling, but he's a bit faster up to the feudal age at the moment.
Yep.
And if you look at how he's splitting his eco out now, he's going out to wood. This is a water build.
Yeah,
And
those bills are probably going to go to gold pretty soon.
waiting for the wood perhaps to build the mining camp. And he's already, interestingly, built a dock at the back on this little pond. That's cute. And he's taking the big fish.
Yeah.
Lovely. Rather take the big fish than the little ones. We've got MbL. He's built a mill. He's taking the box turtles here.
He's
And
dropping his own docks.
you can actually dock anywhere on this sort of shallow, as long as it's flat enough.
Yeah, any of the sandy bits, basically.
yeah.
You can't just build the docks straight on the blue stuff. You have to find a pond to make your docks.
Yeah, right. So there has to be some kind of shallows. There's not that many places where you can dock because a lot of these are too small or they're blocked by some kind of elevation at the edge or something.
That's pretty good for Zuppi, though. He's using the top
Oh, that's
part of the
really
wall.
smart. That's really nice.
Yeah.
So Zuppy's closed on the left. He's still a bit open on the right. And
He'll
his
get there.
first boat's coming out. And it's going to be a galley.
I hate that it's a galley. Like, because we played this in a small, like, friendly tournament in one of the Discords. And every time on this map, I would start with a demo purely in the hopes that there's a hole in their wall and I can get in there and, kill 4 villagers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
the
true.
off chance, like, it doesn't always pay off, but, if it does it 60% of the time, it's such a huge lead. And, like, he should know that there's a hole, right?
Yeah, he scouted it. He sees there's nothing here, and that is a hole because it's not a hole for land units, but it's a hole for water units.
Yeah.
And I think maybe this is just a oversight from MbL. Obviously hasn't really considered that, and as a result, we're going to see this galley coming out. And he's I love that.
Yeah, the gate.
I love
the
this.
gate so the boats can go out.
That's
so silly,
cool.
right?
It's not silly. It's awesome.
It's
a
definitely
boat
awesome,
gate,
but it's
okay.
also silly.
Yeah. All right, I'll give you that. MbL with just one dock. He's actually gone for a stable,
Yep.
which means that we're going to see scouts from him.
Yep.
But
But, like, I want to see a demo come in, right? Like, all these villagers, they're sitting here on the wood line. One demo explodes all of them instead of just these 2 measly galleys.
but Robo, the galleys are in his economy.
Yeah, but the demo could kill half the economy at
That's
once.
true, but there's no way you can hide from them. They could go everywhere.
Yeah, but, like, the demo could do it so much better.
Okay, true.
And, like, it's so satisfying when you see 6 villagers
You could
just
quick wall
fall
a demo
over.
out.
You could try to quick wall out a demo, but they move very quickly.
They are very quick. So we've got a forced tower from MbL.
The galleys could hide underneath the tower.
They could actually camp at the bottom of the tower, that's true. But there's the demo.
Okay,
The demo is in. We'll see if we can get anything with
And
this.
the
He could
demos are
come
also
over here.
really good at breaking through palisade walls.
That's true. They have bonus damage versus buildings. In they go,
on
in
the
they go,
middle,
in they
on
go,
the
in they
middle,
go. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, he got one. It's not too bad.
I was hoping for like 4
But
or
it could have
6,
been
right?
4.
Yeah.
What could have been? The little demo
Oh,
that
the wall
could.
out on the galleys.
Oh, no. Oh, and the pathfinding. And the pathfinding. And that's going to be the end of that
Wow.
galley. So 2 galleys down and a demo down for 1 villager. He forces a tower.
And quite a bit of idle time.
And meanwhile, he's sending out his attack with the scouts. So we'll see if he can do anything with this.
Does Zuppi have a barracks?
This forces a bigger response from Zuppi. No, he does not.
Okay, that's a slight problem. Oh.
Lumber camp out here as
some
well.
Villagers as they go up here.
Well, he's going to catch 1. We would assume he catches 1. He runs straight past, never mind.
Oh, and look how bad that wood line is.
This one's terrible. It's like a line of trees. Instead, he runs under the TC, alerting Zuppi to his position. Okay.
Should be able to get at least
Should be
one
able to
bill.
get a villager here.
Or a fishing ship, maybe.
If no. No.
No.
No focus fire whatsoever.
One of the scouts wasn't even
A
attacking at
little
all.
disappointing from MbL there. I thought he would have microed that maybe a little bit better. But meanwhile, he's probably reacting to this, which is 4 galleys at the back of his base. Oh man, it's crazy to see this. It's so unorthodox. And the demo ship chasing the scouts away.
Right.
Like, you do not want to be anywhere near that when it goes off, because that is death right there.
Yeah.
Villagers,
Same thing with the villagers, just on scouts instead.
Yep, walled in and protected. So MbL, how much damage has he done with these 4 scouts so far?
Not much.
Nil point.
A little bit of idle time.
Oh, maybe he finds a villager here. It's low. It's low.
the
Oh,
alligator's
the
gonna get it
Komodo
anyway.
dragon, the crocodile. Sorry, I don't know my animals. I should go back to school. He'll get the villager and he'll get out. Not too bad. MbL will find 1 vill, but he's lost 1 as well, and I think he's got a bigger problem.
Yeah.
Would you rather 120 health 5 range, and 6 attack. Or 45 health, 5 attack, and no range.
I think I'm going to have to prefer to be a galley, honestly.
I think I'd rather be a galley too. Obviously,
The pathfinding's a little shit, though.
this has been catching Zuppi out a couple of times already, actually. The pathfinding back here and the pathfinding here,
Yeah.
they just keep getting stuck, which is a little unfortunate for Zuppi, but the presence is still there.
Yeah.
And Fletching's coming in now as well.
Fletching's
so
going to be really
extra
good.
range
So they
and
can start
damage.
picking up the vills from further away.
And MbL, I mean, what can he really do?
got
Maybe
no
a demo
gold.
in the.
He's not on gold, so he can't make anything.
Oh, that's true. And he can't stay on gold very comfortably either, because there's Zuppi.
1 vill.
1,
He
2,
should get at least 2 of these.
and 3.
No, he needs
Nope.
1 more volley.
There we go. Well, still 2 more vills, and that's more than MbL can say, right? Zuppi's military value is so much higher.
Well, yeah, 10 to 3, and half of MbL's is like that defensive galley, fire galley, and I think there's a spearman as well running around somewhere.
Yeah, it's unreal, and now he's getting confident with the galleys, but
No, I don't like that though. Underneath 2 towers for 1 vill.
it's a bit much. Yeah,
Like
maybe a bit of an
A
overextension.
demo maybe could have killed more than 1 build.
Okay, Robo.
I'm saying it. I love
You're right.
demos.
No, you're right. You're right. Demo probably could have actually avoided that arrow fire. But yeah, in the south end, we've got the players both moving out to the edge. MbL is on gold now out here,
He's
which
found
is
some.
good.
That's pretty good.
And I think, as the Chinese, not the Chinese, he's the Spanish. As the Spanish, he's heavy on stone. He's looking for a castle.
Yeah. I think
And-
that's the only thing he can do on this map.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because Chinese are just, I think, overall better everywhere else.
So where do you place your castle if you're MbL? I think at this point he needs to probably place it quite deep in his own base,
Yeah.
just to defend from the boats.
I would probably say somewhere near that mill. Like maybe delete the mill.
Sort
and
of
place
like
it
over
there.
here,
So
yeah.
It defends some of the farms, defends some of the gold.
It stops Zuppi from just running in
Yeah.
and killing stuff
Something
back
like
here.
that.
Maybe more to the front because he's got the tower anyway.
Yeah, but like I want to protect the gold as well, right? I want to gain control of the gold, or maybe the stone down to the south.
That's true. He's got the gold here. It's not too bad, but you're right. Yeah, I mean, the next gold is nowhere in sight, so
Right,
it's
yeah.
down here. That actually kind of favors Zuppi a little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. But yeah, Zuppi's built a market. He might buy some food. Yeah, he will.
I think it's interesting that both players have gone to the left-hand side.
Rather than going up to the top.
Right. Oh, is that maybe just like human bias that they want to go down,
Interesting.
or maybe they've scouted that side first? Maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
It's
It could be.
interesting.
Farm dead. That's good for Zuppi.
Value.
Just denying stuff. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Just sit there and do nothing? I mean,
Yeah.
find something at
Yeah,
all
you're
times.
wasting 60 wood.
Exactly. And in come the fires. So Zuppi should slip out of there.
Well, not if they get in the way first.
Oh, he gets out. All right.
But a
Good
lot
play
of
for
these,
Zuppi.
they're quite low though. A lot of those galleys are pretty weak.
They're getting low. I mean, this is a nice thing about having fletching and having enough galleys. You can kind of hit and run
Yeah.
and start to whittle them down. But MbL using this opportunity to actually get a tower in front of his TC, so he's actually going to be able to start defending his farms a little better. And I guess that also opens up a bit more of an opportunity to put the castle somewhere else as well. We'll see where he decides to go. But Castle Age is in for both players. They're just 6 seconds apart. Villager count is even. Military count does favour Zuppi. But
Have both
MbL
players
is...
done wheelbarrow? I saw Zuppi do it. Did maybe MbL not do it to try to get up faster?
We'll see.
10.
No wheelbarrow
Okay,
for MbL.
So that's why they're equal on bills.
Yeah. So Zuppi does have wheelbarrow, which is the equivalent of 3 villagers. So we could argue that Zuppi's on 45 and MbL's on 42. That does put Zuppi ahead considerably, actually, if you take into consideration the military as well here. And now we've got a couple of stables in the south. I noticed bloodlines coming in for MbL, and we've got the castle over here.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess he's thinking he needs more wood for later on into the game.
Well, it's very interesting, isn't it? Because I guess he, like I said before, he's put the tower here, so he's probably feeling confident enough in defending his base with the towers. And then maybe it's a case of, well, if I build the castle over here, it's a bit more out of sight, and maybe the conquistadors will be a little bit less predictable.
Well, less predictable. Like it's Spanish, of course they're gonna make conquistadors. Like every other unit that they can make, you do better, basically. Like if they go full knights, you can just make camels.
That's true as well.
You've got better farms because of your team bonus. You've got an eco advantage from the beginning.
Yep.
That you start with.
I think. Oh wow! Didn't see that.
That helped you.
That almost looked like a tree there, but yeah.
Yeah.
So good for Zuppi to
Good
figure
guy
that
MbL,
out.
showing that to him.
Yeah, and the conquistadors are out. So it's a question now of can MbL get enough conquistadors up and start actually doing some damage, because Zuppi's ahead now considerably in economy. He's obviously added the second TC in the south, while MbL second TC not in sight.
Anytime soon, I don't think.
No, he doesn't have the stone for it at the moment, but he has got quite a lot of wood.
Which is not really that useful. You need to start spending that on farms, I think, at this point.
Oh, and then come the galleys. And they don't care. They don't care about these towers. They're just going in. They're going to find villager kills. They're going to harass MbL all day.
Pathing again.
And again, yeah, just like...
Debated.
It's painful. But still, it's denying resources.
Yeah.
It's being annoying. Yeah, exactly. And MbL still hasn't pushed out yet, so... Look at this.
Stockpiling some demos for later.
That's pretty neat. I like that. Zuppi's like, okay, well, if he does raid me, I'll have a couple of demos ready and waiting.
Yeah.
That's the third TC.
I think MbL's also dropping a TC somewhere. I saw him just buy 100 stone.
There it is.
There we are.
Left side.
That's nice. That helps defend the gold, so you can't really get in there.
Yep, that's true. I'm just kind of worried about the gold situation. I think he'll be okay for a while, but this gold's going to be annoying to get hold of now. Maybe another TC coming up over here.
I would think so, between the dock and the gold.
But still, your issue then is that TCs get outranged by war galleys, so...
Yeah.
They can still die.
Of course, but like it's not really efficient to sit there and shoot at it with, 15 war galleys. Like, it takes a long time to kill a TC.
You might be able to find damage elsewhere.
Yeah.
At the same time. But yeah, Zuppi, the fact that he has got the boats as well is nice.
That's a good raid though. Where'd those demos go?
Good point. That one's here. That maybe they're just blocking the exit. here's another one.
Okay.
Let's see if he can hit this. Can he hit
making
this?
a beeline. The conks should be able to...
I think they can kite it.
I don't think they can't.
Demo's way
the
faster.
demo's way faster, and they can't one-shot it either.
No. Oh, ring around the stone mine. He's going for it. Oh, he did it. That was good.
He still took a bit of damage though.
I think he took quite a bit of splash damage.
Yeah.
And then maybe conversions.
I would try to snipe those monks as I run past. Like the conks are going to die anyway. If you could pick off the monks, that would be so good.
It'd be worth a shot, wouldn't it? But yeah, very low conquistadors limping out of Zuppi's base. These galleys, they're doing so much.
And like he's 10 bills up as well. MbL's dropping a third TC.
I'm just very curious about like what MbL's game plan was. I don't know why did he go Spanish here?
I think it was basically this, right? Scouts, wall, into conks. That's probably what his plan was. And he just sort of didn't think about boats coming in.
Yeah, I guess maybe if he'd have walled up the water properly,
like
maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. But even still, boats are pretty good at taking out walls as well.
Like one demo basically kills a palisade wall.
Yeah, I wouldn't
instantly
rely on a palisade wall against boats.
But it's mostly just like the notice, right? You know that they're coming in, which I guess he kind of had when he saw them come through the hole. But
yeah, but you still then have the issue of boats being so strong for their relative cost.
Their cost is quite high, but
yeah, but they are really strong for the cost still. Anyway, regardless, Zuppi's up on 3 TCs, MbL on 4 TCs. MbL is on 3 and about to get raided in the north as the camels come in.
Getting plus 2 armor as well.
Yeah, just getting that now.
You could just about kill that TC if plus 2 armor was already here, I think.
Well, there's only plus 1 attack on the TC anyway, so plus 2 armor will make quite a big difference on the camels at least. As he comes down now, and there's another TC from MbL onto the gold, and he did build another tower here as well. So, like I say, sort of protecting that from the boats. But this is something that, MbL has to worry about this. He has to worry about the boats. Zuppi does not. So MbL's mining so much stone to build these towers, and Zuppi doesn't really have to worry about that too much at all.
Really, just a couple of demos, just sneaking around his base, just jump in whenever. We'll be continuing the rest of the round of 16 tomorrow at 14 GMT. We'll be doing 4 matches today and 4 more tomorrow.
Yep, that's right. And it looks like at the moment, Zuppi is starting to run away with this. MbL has got a lot of pressure. He's put a lot of pressure on himself to do the damage, and in comes another demo. I think he can one-shot it. He can actually one-shot this demo. Oh, okay.
Nearly.
So close. I was so close. One more conk and he would have been able to one-shot that. But, yeah, he's just kind of getting ran around. And here comes another one.
He's not paying
He
attention.
can't escape this. He can't escape this. Oh, there
no.
you go.
Yeah,
And
that's what I've been saying. Demos are just so good. And like, if there's any unit other than conks, you don't really stand a chance at killing them before they blow up in your face.
pretty
Right.
much.
Like, because conks are fast and they have a lot of damage. Basically, every other unit just dies to a demo. And also, Chinese demos have more HP.
Yeah, that helps. That
Which
helps.
is something I didn't even think about. But yeah, that's pretty good.
It all adds up to giving Zuppi a considerable advantage here in game number 1.
Don't stop high under that tower, please.
And this one here,
Yeah.
well,
There's
it's a lot of arrows.
3 towers
yeah.
and a TC. Like,
It's like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
Don't go in there. You're
Don't go
never
into
coming
that
back.
gold.
But look at this on the north side. Zuppi's like, right, I don't need Imperial. Not yet. I
Not
can
yet.
still push.
well, he's about to go in anyway.
He will go up as well. But he's like, you know what? Let's just forward this guy. I got map control. Here's a forward castle for you. 2 villages. I've got all the time.
No worries.
I've got a third round.
Hopefully he
coming.
stays near his rams, so he doesn't get killed by the bills.
He's absolutely wrecked this TC.
Or like,
Ever since he found it. It's
is
just,
MbL going to maybe do guard tower at some point?
I think the game's over before he researches guard tower.
Maybe.
That's my prediction.
Oh, the stone wall to block the rams getting into
That's
the
pretty
TC.
smart.
And there's one behind the TC as well.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
that's really good actually.
Oh, the
Pathfinding.
plays. The plays from MbL. He's actually... And he's getting guard tower as well. Once he has guard tower, I don't think they can push that TC.
Why can't they get through here?
There's a stone wall behind the TC.
Yeah, but
And there's a hole there. Oh. Yeah, right?
oh, there's a tree.
Yeah.
There's a tree behind the TC. Okay, well that's pretty good. And there's guard tower. Okay.
He'll make one more guard tower, I think, to try to kill off the mangonels. At some point.
Not bad, not bad. MbL's doing everything he can to stay in this game. But that Imperial Age is scary because it doesn't matter if you've got guard tower. Imperial Age comes in, Trebs come out, and they all die anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, MbL is in a position where okay, yes, this is going to be lost up here. If you can click up to Imp in the next few minutes,
He's not very close, though.
it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really hard. That slow push from the Trebs is going to be.
Yeah, he might just
yeah.
call GG once he sees.
It might
he hit
be.
him.
It might be. Edward Longshank in the chat thinks he will at 40 minutes. Let's see. Wheelbarrow just coming in. It's going to feel
That's
bad
typical AM, right?
when your opponent goes Imp and you're just finishing Wheelbarrow. No GG called, but the Treb from Zuppi, there it is. And, well, there's the GG
Okay,
as
there's the
well,
GG.
as MbL realizes. I mean, a few things happen here. Galleon, you've got Trebs coming in. You're going to have potentially, Cavalier coming in as well. And MbL at that point, by the time he reaches Imperial, he would have lost this whole eco up here. And he would have had Trebs pushing down the hill toward his toward his main base as well. So Zuppi kind of just got ahead in the early game and stayed ahead for the rest of the game. It's a difficult map, and it's quite clear that water isn't the be all and end all of this map. It's significant, it's strong, but ultimately I still think that land is where you win or lose the game. So we'll take a quick look at the post-game stats in just a second. Robo's not ready, so we'll update that in just a moment. And also, I mean, Zuppi even had an extra TC up here on the gold as well, so all over looking very strong. Let's take a look at the post-game stats now, and we can have a look in more detail. MbL actually killed more units, but once again, it's about the potential to do damage, not just about the damage done.
And also, like, demo hits don't count as kills. So...
Demo hits don't count as kills?
No, and they don't count as deaths either.
You mean...
When the demo kills something, it doesn't count as a kill for that player.
Ah, okay, right.
'Cause, like,
Gotcha.
the
Because it killed itself.
Yeah, so like the death is like
Yeah.
attributed to Gaia or something.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Well, it's probably a little bit misleading in that case.
So it's probably fairly even
Yeah.
in the end.
But look at that largest army of
Yeah,
40.
so significant.
Even with conquistadors, you can't contend that. And eco-wise,
well ahead.
well ahead. Of course, Zuppi played a good game, ahead in every age as well. He's just collecting all the gold stars, really. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, essentially. Only just ahead on bills in the end, but he did go to Imp, so...
Yeah, that's a considerable difference. So GG to Zuppi. He gets the win there, and this is kind of important for him because, you know, as we said before, Suomi haven't played particularly well in the 1v1s so far.
Yeah, they've only got a couple of 5th placings, I think. So...
Yeah, and they've certainly started to climb up the standings. So if they get a good 1v1 performance as well, then that really puts them in a position to start contesting second place. And Edward Longshank says, do you guys think Suomi is becoming a favourite to grab the second overall spot? Could happen.
I think they've got a good chance, like, because the majority of the events are team game events, which is clearly where Suomi shine, right? So... if they don't do amazingly well in 1v1s, that's a slight problem, but it depends on which other teams do well, right? Like, for instance, if Brazucas won a 1v1 event, Suomi don't care because they're not going to climb past them.
No,
and
it's
if
unlikely.
Secret wins, that also doesn't matter because they're so far ahead
That's
they
true
can't
as well.
catch them either.
It's really like
these
Suomi
four
are
teams-
bothered about... Yeah, Suomi are really concerned about Frantic and SY.
And AM.
Yeah, and AM.
Like, those 4 teams are basically fighting for second at this point.
That's why this is an important game, because they're really against their closest opponents in this league right now.
Yeah.
So, Manganellas, thank you very much for the resub. 6 months coming in. And we're going to go into game 2. Hillfort coming up next. It's match point. If Zuppi wins this, he'll go through to the round of 8 next week. And if MbL takes it, then he will draw things even and contest on Atoll for game 3.
Here we go. Game's just launching in. Secret has already played their one game for today. Jordan played against Miguel. And tomorrow we'll see Tato versus somebody. Lan, I think it is.
Yeah. So, welcome everyone. Game number 2 between MbL and Zuppi. Here we are on Hillfort. The first time we're seeing this map in this tournament as well. A map which I've seen a few times in the past, and we'll talk about in more detail in just a moment. But to the north of the map, representing Team AM in the blue, it is MbL, this time on the Chinese. And to the southwest of him, in the red, it's Zuppi, representing Team Suomi, playing as the Indians.
Now, these are interesting civ picks. Like, I don't see what Indians really have to offer on this map. Because like, camels, they're kind of nice, but, like, it's not really a super open map, right? Like, you start in this little walled area. You're generally going to do some sort of an FC. Camels versus crossbows is possibly a thing, not really likely. Maybe even monk siege pushes could be a possibility. Camels aren't very good there.
Yeah, I mean, the Indians don't have terrible monks themselves.
That's true.
They
but
could contest that, but I mean, obviously Chinese is already taken because Zuppi had it in the first game.
That's true.
But they're economically very strong, right? I mean, as an eco bonus, Indians have a fantastic eco. Cheaper villages every age, and that just ends up being fantastic for a fast castle, because you're gonna get castle faster. You're gonna start saving resources faster, and then you can also at the same time make those camels, which do have the extra armor, and maybe you can get out on the map and actually sort of contest the map control.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, go on.
Like, I don't see them being incredibly powerful. Although out of the remaining civs, I'm not really sure what else you would pick. Can't really remember the civ pool. Like Malay, probably not. Burmese could be a thing.
I was just about to say Burmese could be
you
interesting.
Could like castle drop into Arambai.
Castle drop
that would be pretty
Arambai
powerful.
could be nice. Yeah. But then, think about the Chinese. In this case, it's probably going to be some kind of like I'd like to see some kind of monk play, but this is also MbL we're talking about here.
Well,
This is the guy who hates arena.
he says that, but he's actually pretty good at
He's
arena.
good at it,
and he's
yeah.
pretty good with monk players as well. Right? Like he's playing BF at a super high level forever.
That's
Monk
true.
pushes are really popular there as well.
Yeah, that is true. And let's just look at the map in a little bit more detail as well. So obviously the map's called Hill Fort because they start on a hill and it's fortified with palisades.
So slightly defended.
You know, slightly, I guess. And inside of their little box, they've got gold, stone, they've got standard resources. And then outside, usually on the hills, actually, you've got the gold and stone, the second piles of gold and stone. Stone here, gold here.
It's quite nice for MbL at the back.
It
though.
is nice for MbL. Obviously, for Zuppi, it's slightly to the side. And then your additional gold and stone, you've got gold here. I assume that's Zuppi's. And then you've got gold.
Just to the north.
Where is
For
it
MbL?
for MbL? There's
Left a bit,
stone
left a bit.
there. And there's
There it
gold
is.
here. So I kind of like that for MbL, actually. It's all sort of everything's at the back of the base for him. So maybe a little easier to defend. Whereas Zuppi's extra resources are a little bit further out, harder to defend that.
But the real reason to spread out is that you need more wood, basically. And I guess
Yeah.
space for farming. So there's not a lot of space at the top of the hill. So it's very much like an early game. You get to Castle Age, and then you try to push out and take space to build TCs, and boom.
Yeah, that's true. I don't like Zuppi's map, though, at all.
Yeah, that's kind of rough.
The back here, no real space for anything. You don't want to put a TC there. Come on. He'd probably... I mean, maybe he'll end up putting one back here or something.
I might put it like touching the front berries, maybe.
Here,
get the
perhaps.
Little food source.
But I think for MbL, if he builds a TC back here, it's nice because it's really safe. Well,
You could
relatively
you
safe.
could build two TCs in that wood line, like one towards the gold, one towards the stone.
Yeah, right. And then you're locking down the bonus resources. If Zuppi wants to get this one, he's going to have to build a TC over here somewhere, and it's in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
Kind of not where you really
pretty
want to be. But that's assuming, of course, the game gets to that stage, which it's very likely to, as doing some kind of feudal aggression is super impossible. Well, not
it's
super
not
impossible,
like
but it's really
trushing
hard.
Man-at-arm trush could maybe be a thing.
Yeah, I've seen that before. I cast a game on this map with Rez once, and there was like a feudal age trush,
Yeah.
and it worked.
Like, it could work. Like, the stone near your TC is a bit difficult to deny, but if you're up way faster than the other person, like if they're just doing a naked, 26, 27 pop FC, you get up at 21 pop, you've got some time to break in.
You could do damage. You certainly could do damage. And if you can deny their key resources as well, then that will really hurt them.
Yeah.
Especially the wood, as it will be harder for them to sort of expand down and build another TC, or maybe they won't be able to build their production buildings as they planned.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, right now, both players are moving out to gold and looks like standard fast castle things. I'm
Yep.
expecting a stable and blacksmith from Zuppi.
Yep.
I'm expecting a market and blacksmith from MbL. And then we'll develop that into the castle age where, we talked about this monk play potentially from MbL. I don't expect to see it, but I think if he's doing a market blacksmith, it's more likely as the game
I think
goes
that's
on.
the most likely thing that we will see.
Yeah. Whereas obviously Zuppi here, blacksmith, and I'm assuming it'll be a stable. In just a second. He hasn't got the resources for it. Tick, tick, tick. There it is. Stable and Imperial camels? Regular camels.
Normal camels.
Maybe eventually he'll have Imperial camels.
If a game goes late enough, but I don't think you really bother. Like, against Chinese, they're going to be making helms and Chukonus.
Yeah.
You might just do heavy camel, and then probably stop there.
Yeah, we will see. MbL a little faster to the castle age, and Zuppi will manage to squeeze out one additional villager in the meantime, as MbL will get that little edge. But that's kind of good for MbL, really. He's also moving more vills out to gold, so as this goes on, it looks more and more like Siege and Monks. Obviously,
6 is still not a lot of vills.
it's not like
right.
all in.
'Cause, like, normally for a monk rush, you'd have 8 to 10 vills on gold, right?
Uh-huh.
It's still only on 6. He could be planning to buy other resources, maybe. Maybe just to get his boom going really hard. Buy more wood, buy stone, maybe for a 4th TC. Stuff like that could be an option.
Also be, I'm definitely expecting. Well, I don't know. I think that's too risky and maybe too passive to do that. But I think more likely he'll definitely add the second TC, and he's sending Vils out now. I sort of suggested maybe he'll build it back here earlier. It looks like he's heading that direction. So the second TC should definitely come up, and then I expect one monastery or maybe a second one quite quickly. It depends. He's not got enough wood for all of that at once, obviously.
Well, he's still got 30 seconds until he gets up.
Oh, Zuppi's Bitaxe is a bit late.
A little bit.
Minor things, but that's potentially quite a bit more wood in the bank now for MbL. Look at that. I don't know if that's maybe because Zuppi seeded more farms.
Well, he also had to make a barracks as well. So that's
That's
175 wood
That's
spent.
true. That's true. That too. Not you know what I mean. Castle Age in. The TC is up and Bosaw straight in and Monastery. So pretty spot on there with the predictions. But the question is then, will it be a third TC or a second Monastery?
Or a siege workshop.
Or a Siege Workshop. And
Could go either way at this point.
oh, he's actually sending Vils to stone. Interesting. He's still sending them to stone. Okay.
That's
Now,
somewhat
Zuppi's
confusing.
immediately scouting that, by the way. He sees it,
Yeah.
and he might make a scout,
No. Oh.
but he cancels
And
it
he
and makes
cancels it.
camels. God damn it.
Oh, you're feeling so smug and proud of yourself. Like, I'm a good caster. I know what's
People
happening.
say I don't know what I'm talking about.
Clearly you don't.
Obviously I don't,
obviously
right?
you don't.
But yeah, I guess Camel comes in, and I don't know. I think the scout will be reasonable. He's gonna have a little scout war here, and MbL will just back up to the hill.
And then
He'll be
heal
fine.
his scout up and he'll be fine.
Exactly. And meanwhile, he's playing very safe with this. It's just actually a siege workshop behind this, and I'm interested that he's taking the stone. Actually, I think he'll just slowly take another 100 stone and add a fourth TC at some point.
Yeah. Or maybe he's thinking maybe I need to build a tower at some point. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. If he stops now, we'll know. But
Because just a single villager isn't like a huge investment, and
Nah.
it just slowly banks up over time
it's safety,
for
isn't
when he
it?
needs it at some point.
exactly. But this is a very precise play from MbL. He's got exactly 7 farms, but it's just enough to keep villager production going.
He has 2 TCs though, so it's not really enough.
And actually,
got
that's
some
a
more
good point.
farms.
Yeah, but he's doing some more back there. But at the moment, it's just enough that he could keep some villagers coming out while investing absolutely everything else into
This
monks and
monk play.
siege.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's the bare minimum.
Right, so what's Zuppi doing with his TCs?
Zuppi at the moment is adding 2 in the
2
south.
TCs down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
Mostly just securing wood lines and farming space, it seems.
Exactly. I mean, the space behind is terrible, as we established earlier. I think Zuppi's probably going to want to end this game sooner rather than later.
Right. But he's only got like that 1 villager on gold, so he's not really planning on making military, it seems.
No, and it's scouts at the moment, so it's kind of difficult though. If one civ can do it though, it is the Indians, because their vills are so much cheaper right now.
But he's mining a lot of stone, so it looks like he's planning on getting a defensive castle at some point.
You see, he's mining a lot of stone.
Well, he had those villagers built on the tower. were
Yes,
all on
okay,
stone.
so it's a defensive tower
And the
from
other one
this.
So multiple towers to defend from the MbL push is what he seems to be going for.
We'll see if he can hold on. I mean, this is the thing now. I mean, he's just, I think, trying to buy himself time to take advantage of that Indian economy boost and try and get the eco going. Maybe sort of go for sort of like a faster imperial time and then try and push with the power spike that brings. But it's going to be tough if he's playing this passively at the moment. That one tower might not be enough. And it certainly doesn't have any scouts queued at the moment either.
I don't think going for fast imp is going to work out. With MbL's going to keep making mangonels and he's going to keep pushing in, right?
Right.
I feel like the best thing for him to do to defend would be to drop another stable or 2. Probably get a guard tower, that would help, and just keep massing scouts.
Guard tower. You love your guard towers. But they work against
Sometimes.
mangonels, at least.
Well, sometimes. When they don't shoot you before you finish building it.
Yeah, 3 damage right there, and just lose a couple of bills. So MbL is forced away. The thing for MbL here, though, is you can just go around somewhere else, right? You can come in from the other side.
Or towards where the 2 other TCs are in the south, where there's no defenses at this point.
Right, but he hasn't scouted them
Okay.
at the moment, but he
He
did
could.
kill the scout of Zuppi, so that's good. Zuppi's going to be playing quite blind now. I mean, obviously he knows.
He knows what's happening.
Yeah, guard tower's in. It's such a fast research. It's like you don't even see
But
it.
without
It's done.
fletching, without Bodkin arrow, they're not amazing.
No, but fletching's coming. Bodkin arrow will come eventually. Like I say, he's definitely building a lot more farms very soon. Towering up around the map. It's interesting. Still quite a lot on stone. But I feel like this doesn't...
Right, well,
It doesn't achieve much, I feel.
No, it does not. Like,
No, it's
he's
just...
behind on builds, and he has 7 or 8 villagers mining stone, which doesn't really do anything for him.
Yeah. And, oh, interesting. MbL actually expands his TC inside here.
And MbL's building a castle?
Is he?
Forward castle, where like his monks are. Keep going south. Towards Zuppi. South. South.
Oh, it's here. Okay. It was on the overlay, right?
Yeah.
MbL building a castle. I was like, didn't see it.
I'm not sure why you would want to build it there, though.
Well,
I guess he hasn't really scouted anything else, so...
He probably assumes
There's
that
something
Zuppi's
nearby.
around here somewhere. It's so interesting that he's not even scouted it, but he's so confident in placing a castle here, right? I think that's pretty cool. And, well, I was going to say, really, for Zuppi, it's a lot of investment into towers, which are static defense. It doesn't give you any options in the game to push out or do anything, right? It's just there. And meanwhile, you're giving up all the map control to MbL. He can start doing a forward castle with 2 villagers because he's that confident that he'll get it up. And meanwhile, Zuppi's just kind of booming here. And that makes me think he wants to do something in the Imperial Age.
Like, my biggest problem with this, like, MbL hasn't really invested that much into military, right? He's got a couple of monks, a couple of spears, a couple of mangonels,
And
right?
it's such a big reaction as a
And,
result.
like, the monks are really useful because he can still get the relics, right?
That's true.
So, like, that's going to give him passive income.
He's got 1 relic so far.
And, like, if he scouts out the
more.
rest of them, he can go get them, right? Whereas these towers, yeah, they're kind of useful later in the game just to defend.
You might not get these ones.
No, but there's, like...
But sorry, go ahead.
Like, you can get a couple of mangonels, a couple of relics to help out. And otherwise, he's just ahead in the boom, even though the Zuppi made TCs faster than he did. And he's even dropping a 4th TC now.
Yeah, I mean, Zuppi shouldn't really be behind in villagers at this stage.
He's just got so many villas mining stone, spent so much time building the towers as well, which is, again, wasted villager time.
However, if he does drop a castle here and go imp, resources, getting there, look, he can treb down the castle quite easily. MbL? Oh,
He's
MbL's
closer to
even
him.
closer though. That shouldn't be how it
should
is,
not be the
but
case.
it be.
Right, yeah, he's way
but it do.
overreacted with this
Oh
stone.
man, yep. And that is really just all down to that like overreaction. Maybe not an overreaction. It's probably the right amount of reaction, but it is much more of a costly reaction.
I think the biggest problem is the fact that he has to defend 2 entirely separate parts of the map.
Yeah, he's very split, isn't he?
Like, if it was just defending the hill, 4 or 5 towers, easy. But, he's got 4 towers on the hill, he's got another 3 or so down the south.
Oh boy, this is the first time Zuppi's pushed out as well. And, oh wow, a castle? I thought it was like a TC, but no.
And what's Zuppi doing? He's just going to get
3
converted.
vills, man.
3 vills,
Three
man.
vills. Okay, this is so good for MbL right now.
Yeah, he can start to treb both sides at the same time, basically.
Yeah, I'm really worried for Zuppi. It's Chinese seem to be so good on these kind of maps where you're guaranteed to get a good start.
Yeah, basically. Well, he's not guaranteed on this map. Like, he was basically even for all the Dark Age.
It's not guaranteed, but like you're not gonna have a bad start either because you can't really get lamed. If you lame the Chinese player, they're really screwed. In Arabia, for example,
You can't lame in this map.
You can't lame here, so it's a relatively reliable start, let's say. But either way, we're gonna see another castle from MbL.
All the trebs coming out soon.
How does he have so much stone? His eco is so good this game. It's just really clean, it feels. And okay, the second castle will go up, and he's gonna have the treb advantage here as well.
Has Zuppi actually done any upgrades for military yet?
No, I don't think so.
Like, what's he planning to do once he gets to him?
Well, I thought his plan was to go to imp, but I didn't think much further ahead than that.
Well, he's got to have a plan once he gets there, and he's not
Yeah.
doing anything.
And do you know what the annoying thing for the Indians is as well? It's like they can't really utilize their castle unit. Elephant archers are too expensive, and they're liable to conversion. Whereas MbL can also use these castles to train Chuko Nu as well, which will actually be useful in this game.
But like, I don't know what Zuppi's gonna do. Like, he's not got any military buildings. He's 20 villages behind. He's got one castle versus 2. Okay,
Maybe-
yeah, he's got a relic.
Oh,
Sweet.
hello.
A couple of bug farms there.
I don't know. Maybe he's he's playing as the Indians. Maybe he's just like trying to be a pacifist or something. It feels very pacifist from Zuppi this game.
I've got no idea what his plan is anymore. I thought Castle Age, sure, camels and monks and siege, you try to be aggressive. Oh, rip those 3 vills.
No, this is Hill Fort Garrison, not Bog Island. We haven't seen Bog Island yet. It's maybe not a popular map, but we'll see maybe next series. Next map in this series, if we get there, would be Atoll. Obviously, at the moment, MbL is looking like he's going to be sending it to game 3.
I don't see how it the Trevor's
Zuppi's like, you know what? I'm just going to attack these trees.
That is a
over here."
monumental misclick.
Over the bills as well. Bumping and grinding on that wood line as MbL pushes in. Military 27 to 4.
Finally getting bloodlines and scale barding armor. Like, what does he expect? Like, he's making guard towers when there's 4 trebuchets outside his base. Like, the tower's gonna go up and it's gonna die instantly, basically.
I'm so shocked by this game.
There's 5. Okay, no, we're back down to 4 trebs.
I'm actually shocked that we're at 30 minutes and Zuppi's only trained 4 military units and he's having his face smashed in.
Yeah.
And he's just taking it at the moment. And
that trebuchet could be killed by like just 2 spearmen, basically.
this one.
Yeah,
could be.
like, it's all by
It's out
itself.
of range.
In my opinion, range. Okay, well, 2
Maybe.
knights or something, right?
Either way,
It's so vulnerable out there.
the point remains.
Yeah.
He couldn't kill it. And meanwhile, wow, the vills to kill the trebs. You're getting desperate.
Right, when
And the
you're
vills are
sacrificing
coming
20 of
across.
your villagers to go kill some trebs in range of a castle.
Well, I think that's GG for Zuppi. I mean, he will kill the trebs, at least. But,
True. Like, the vill count's not getting any better. It's 40 vills behind.
so much. Ouch.
He's nearly 50 vills behind at this point.
They're getting nailed. They're getting so nailed by the castle. Oh,
Ballistics is a good tech, apparently.
man. Ballistics does help your buildings, yes. And meanwhile, he's like trying to fight over here as well, but he's not going to get anywhere there. And well, in come the units to kill the trebs.
Right, like,
the
it's so
castle is in
vulnerable.
range.
Yeah, but like, it's so vulnerable by itself out there.
Elephant Archer.
There's an elephant archer.
He's going to turn it around
Wow.
with the Elephant Archer.
Zach is so hyped.
I'm disappointed, really, more than anything. I thought this game had potential to be a really good game, and all in all, we've just seen sort of MbL do his thing, and Zuppi just sort of take it in a way. Okay, Elephant Archers. Do you think he was planning to go Elephant Archers this game?
I hope not.
I don't think that was ever. I don't know
Yeah.
if there was a game plan. I don't know.
Yeah. I've got no idea if he had any idea at the start. Because like, if he wanted to be aggressive, then he needed to make stuff in Castle Age instead of just instantly dropping 2 TCs.
Yeah.
And then after that, he just gave map control to MbL. He overreacted so hard
Yeah.
to the military that MbL was making,
Rocketry.
shredding through that
Coming
trip
in.
now.
And I think that's GG right there. I'm expecting Zuppi to call it any second. He's lost his trebs here. MbL will pack up and move forward. He's lost his trebs down here, or losing his trebs down here. He did kind of stall the trebs a little bit, but
He killed a
eventually,
lot of trebs from MbL, which is pretty good.
But eventually, MbL's going to win. He's doing heavy camel meanwhile, and he's trying to perhaps get some camel force together, but poor upgrades,
Right.
and he's now against nearly fully upgraded Chukonu.
Right, and there still is monks behind the Trigonos as well. So if
That's
MbL's
true.
paying attention, he converts in as well. And yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know what's going to happen here.
It's pretty sad for Zuppi after such a great first game.
Right.
Doesn't look like he really bought any contest here. And it's interesting as well because Elephant Archers are great counter archer units, but the Chukonu fares pretty well actually against sort of high armor units due to their arrow mechanics. So looks like this castle's gone, and no more trebs for Zuppi.
He's still got that one treb that's about to die. Maybe.
This one might hold on. He's holding on with guard towers. I feel like he's just... I don't know. I feel like he's just holding on for the sake of holding on now. I don't think he really believes he can win this game.
He's less than 100 pop at 40 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
he's housed at 97 out of 90. Like, that's obviously a bad call.
Yeah, I don't think Zuppi believes he can win the game. I think maybe he's thinking about mind games at this point, like sort of tilt MbL
He's
so that
only
he
getting
plays
+2
worse in
armor.
game 3, but I don't think that works.
No. Is that a forward BM castle maybe from MbL? Or TC?
Down it goes. So there you go.
Like, because Zuppi's not a bad player, right?
No, he's not a bad player at all.
Like, he's like one of the top 2 players in Suomi, basically. Right? He's like the second carry behind Max most of the time. But in this game, he just didn't really have anything prepared, it seems. Or maybe he just wasn't expecting to be playing against Indians. Sorry, be playing against Chinese. And he just doesn't know how to counter Chinese with Indians, maybe.
Maybe. It's quite a good matchup for the Chinese in general. GG is called. Zuppi will call out that game there, and MbL will take it. I mean, it's been MbL's game for a little while now. Obviously, MbL made that look pretty straightforward. It really started with just a very... MbL might have said GG. He might have said it after the game ended. But, yeah, it was just, the monastery and the siege. It wasn't all in aggression, but the reaction from Zuppi was to build like 5 towers and research guard tower. And I feel like that set him back so far, considering that he's got the better eco bonus. His villagers cost less in the castle age. And at that point in the game, MbL has no, real sort of eco bonus like that. So Zuppi should have been ahead economically, and he wasn't. MbL beat him to imp. And then Zuppi didn't really seem to have any kind of game plan. And with that, MbL will take game number 2, and we'll be going into game number 3 in just a moment's time. Military stats. Largest army by far. MbL losing a few units to sort of like, TCs and things.
TCs and the towers.
Yeah.
And just miscellaneous
They
raiding
do
and
work,
stuff.
but they're not proactive. They're very just defensive and static, and you can't really use them. Across the board, MbL had the most resources, and I think we should just jump straight into game number 3, because there's not a whole lot else to say about that one. We're going to be going on to Atoll next.
No, yeah, MbL was just ahead basically the entire game.
Yep, all the way through. Chinese, they seem to be a really popular pick at the moment, and they seem to be doing very well as well. We'll see what they go for Atoll, though. It's probably going to be a Japanese war if the previous games learned as anything, taught as anything. I love it when people say learned. They learned me good. Right, let's go in-game for game 3. And it's not Japanese.
Okay. Well, they don't have to pick from the Sith pool anymore.
No, they don't.
So they're free to do whatever they want
They're
now.
free to do what they please, but still. Vikings and Malay.
Okay.
Amazing learn. Very big learn.
Like, this is really an interesting Civ matchup.
Yeah. Talk to us about it.
Okay, well, I'm thinking Malay. There's so much land that you need to defend, right? Harbors are incredible at, like, securing these wood lines and, like, just the edges of all the shore. So, clearly, if you get to late game, Malay's going to be a bit of a problem. But on the other hand, longboats are just amazing as well, right?
Yes. And we saw a fast castle in the first match.
That we played on this map.
Yeah. So, not in this series, but the first series of the day, Jordan versus Miguel, we saw both players fast castling. If a fast castle gets pulled off here, then A, the Malay will be very fast.
Yeah.
But B, the Vikings can go straight into longboats, which are fantastic. Interesting stuff. Obviously, if the game does go late, then, as you say, Thalassocracy, unlocking those harbors, does allow you to lock down the map really nicely.
And even just like karambits for raiding, the trash 200 swordsmen, if you get to that stage, they're pretty good at just running around doing stuff.
Yeah. And I think maybe the question here is, if you're the Malay, are you really going to be trying to take advantage of your faster uptime to be the first to strike? Or are you trying to maybe hold back and get faster to castle and then do bigger damage later on?
I think it depends on your scouting, really. Like with this map, if they both dock on opposite sides and you scout that before you click up, then I think going for a slower, feudal, do the standard sort of FC strat.
Scouting is going to be critical, basically.
Yeah. Like MbL is obviously going out to the right-hand side. I feel like Zuppi might either dock at the back or go to the left, judging from where his TC is.
Here? He might. Yeah, he may go
it looks
on
like
this
he's coming
left
over
side.
to the left. So in that case, going FC could be pretty good.
And that for Zuppi could be really, really good because it's going to compound. He'll get the eco advantage from, well, eco advantage, I mean, like, he'll
Having
get
a
more
few extra
villagers. Sorry?
Yeah, what are you saying? He has a few extra vills, but that goes the other way too, though. Because MbL
because
doesn't need wheelbarrow, so he gets a few more vills at some point.
Exactly, right? I mean, wheelbarrow is the equivalent of training 3 vills.
Mm-hmm.
Handcart is the equivalent of training 5?
I think
4?
I think it's 3 again.
3, really?
Yeah,
I thought handcart was longer.
I don't think so.
Mm.
Maybe someone can tell us in chat.
Yeah, I can't remember how long handcart takes to research, but either way. And then the melee faster uptime is also the equivalent of about the same. So
Yeah.
it does end up being quite nice. And handcart is shorter. Right, there you go. So it's about the equivalent of 5 vills in total.
So they're both relatively even.
Yeah.
It's just melee get it a bit faster for the extra vills, but then wheelbarrow and handcart start to pay
Offset
off
that
much
anyway.
faster.
Yeah, exactly. So all in all, we will see quite even economies, I would assume. And then it really just comes down to how they approach the water. And if you're the Vikings, you're probably thinking, yeah, I'm going to go long ships.
Yeah.
And if you're the Malay, you're probably thinking, shit, he's going long ships.
Yeah. It's like, he wants to be a fast to try to deny the FC, right? But they're so far away, I don't think that's really feasible. Unless he went for like a forward dock or something in the middle.
Yes, that could work.
But that's so risky, right?
That is risky. We'll see. But at the moment, the docks are on complete opposite sides, opposite corners. It's definitely looking like a setup for a fast castle.
Yeah.
And with these civs in mind, it's something that both of them probably want as well, for their own reasons. And of course, in game 3, they don't have to pick from the civ pool.
Right. So that's why we've
Yeah.
got Vikings. You know.
So to reiterate the rules for people, the reason why we saw Japanese wars before was because the players were limited to the 10 civs in the pool for game 1 and 2. And Japanese best water civ in
Out
the
of the
pool,
by a big
as
margin.
the players have figured out. In game 3, they're allowed to pick any civilization as long as they don't repeat any of the civs they've played already. They're not limited to the pool anymore. So by the time you get to game 3, the civ pool is opened up a lot more, and so that's why we're seeing Vikings and Malay here.
Well, Malay are in the Civ pool.
Malay are in the civ pool, but Vikings are not.
Well, so our prediction is half right. Zuppi is going for an FC, and MbL appears to be going for a galley rush? Well, I guess no, Zuppi's doing it as well. They're both going for rushing, even though they're so far away.
That's interesting. They are adding extra fish, well, at least Zuppi's adding extra fish.
And Zuppi's also walling in the middle, or is he taking forward dock?
Oh.
A somewhat forward dock. Has he actually scouted?
Yeah, I'm just checking that now.
He has
No,
not. He
he's
hasn't
not.
even gone into his island yet.
So Zuppi hasn't scouted the dock of MbL. MbL, has he scouted the dock of Zuppi?
Neither.
No.
Both of them are staying close to home.
And I think it's because they both had a little bit of a scout fight earlier on,
Yeah.
got a little bit low, and then they didn't want to take the risk of going too deep and,
And running
losing
into
the
a
scout.
TC and
Yeah.
just instantly dying.
So at this point, neither player knows where their docks are, and I think that works in favor of MbL a little bit more, to be honest, because right now the forward dock from Zuppi is again kind of on the wrong side. MbL, meanwhile, second dock is up on the right side, and both players reach the feudal age at pretty much identical timings. And of course, Zuppi has 3 additional villagers, but now MbL has wheelbarrow.
Walling MbL into his base with stone walls.
That's what you get for playing so passive. But I
That
guess
scout could almost win the fight.
almost. Can it?
Yeah, I think so. With the 5 attack, I think he should be able to win the fight.
He sees this. He's not noticed, I guess. MbL focusing on other things like building demo ships and galleys. I like that Zuppi's doing this. It's interesting because, we saw with the fire game earlier on just how important the land is.
Yeah.
And if Zuppi can lock down the land and take this late, then he can maybe bring harbors into play.
Which is, I feel like it's a bit of an instant win. Like, as long as he's not
An
really
instant win?
far behind. Well, that's a bit strong, but as long as he isn't behind when he gets to late game, he has a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Simply because of harbors.
That
making
is
it
true.
so difficult to push him off land. Like, it forces MbL to go into cannon galleons, right? Which, as we said,
Yeah.
it's expensive. If he's not in the middle to begin with, he's going to struggle. to
It makes your
afford it.
army more static.
Yeah.
You can't really move around the map as much because you've got to stay with the cannon galleons. Demo shot there. demo shot did not really do too much, and Zuppi's just hanging around here. Can't really kill any fish because they take so long to die now to the fires, and there's 3 galleys here to send him away. MbL playing very defensively, and I think that makes a lot of sense because he's going straight into galleys.
Yes, of course. Because like he doesn't want to go out there with 2 galleys and get ambushed and then sacrifice them, right?
Yep.
He needs to get that mass. When he gets like 6 or 7 galleys together, once he gets fletching, then he's got enough to take reasonable fights.
Yep, absolutely. There's the blacksmith coming up now as the 6th or 7th galley starts to come out, and he'll be ready to start taking the fights with Zuppi very soon. Look at the difference in score, though. I think that's huge.
Walling off so that the boats can't go past.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I'm surprised more players haven't done that. But
Well.
Zuppi could just delete his wall and go around.
Like he could maybe sneak them around the back of the wall one by one.
Oh,
but
it would
that
do.
would be
Maybe.
horrible pathing though, trying to get multiple boats through there.
I'm curious now. But yeah, that's a good little technique to stop the boats going through. But
if he finishes the gate, his boats can go through.
that's
and then
true.
Zuppi's can't.
Yeah, he should finish that. But at the moment, both players are just very passive.
Yeah.
And if you're going to play this passive, I guess it's risky to fast castle, but I almost feel like they could have just fast castled anyway.
Probably. Like they'd be almost at the castle by now.
Yep, and they're going to click up to castle anyway in just a second.
I think the problem with that though is that as soon as the other player sees you get a slow feudal age, they're going to instantly walling in the scout.
Nice.
Oh, that is so good.
And now you can just bring over a galley and kill it. I just had something else die as... Oh!
And the same thing went the other
Are
way.
you kidding me? Wow, these guys kind of matching each other blow for blow here.
Yeah.
Zuppi actually kills MbL's scout by walling it in, and now we're going to see the same.
Going the other way.
Wow, that's brilliant. You don't see it too often, and then for it
No.
to happen at
Both
the
of
same
them.
time, like,
That's perfect.
that's brilliant. I love it. So, at the moment, Zuppi has this huge score lead, but I think it's a bit misleading. Because I think it's mostly going to be scouting.
Yep.
It's
That's
Zuppi
a lot of
scouting, MbL scouting there. It's not much. If we look at the resources actually gathered at this stage of the game, MbL is actually ahead in resources gathered overall. It's quite close,
Yep.
but he's... Oh, wait, no, sorry. Actually, no, I think it's about even.
pretty even.
I think it's almost even. And that's the wheelbarrow and the 3 villager advantage sort of
Balancing
negating
out.
each other. Yeah, balancing out. Distribution of resources, identical.
Basically.
MbL did have 7 on food. 1 just came off, probably to build something. But yeah, farm. But yeah, so it's a close game at the moment. But I do think that the longboats could make all the difference.
Well, Zuppi needs... Well, as soon as he sees MbL hit castle age, I think he's just going to go in and try to kill as many as he can. Because he doesn't want to let the Viking player get war galley. Yeah. He's
Yep.
going straight in, and MbL's like, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah, get out of there. So Zuppi up with war galley a little faster. And MbL, interesting, look at this. No farms for Zuppi.
He's relying just on the fish.
And MbL now on the farms.
Okay.
So Zuppi has to win water, really. I mean, he's not got much food income at all. And MbL, meanwhile, university coming up. That's
So
for
6.
fast ballistics and seeding out the farms as well. But will he be able to afford ballistics that soon? Because he's going to have to
4
idle his
docks.
docks to afford it.
He's got a lot of bills on food as well, right? He's got
Yeah.
5 fish, he's got 5 farms, he's got 2 bills taking shorefish as well.
That's kind of risky for MbL, I think.
Coming this far in.
Because he's going to play, well, he's going to play into the defender's advantage of Zuppi, but he's also idling his docks right now so that he can afford to get ballistics, I think. Okay, now he's realizing, okay, I'm probably going to have to queue some more boats.
Well, he's about to lose his fish because there's 2 fire ships in his fishing
Oh,
economy.
yeah, that's true.
Oh, well, if he doesn't get your bed.
One boat coming out, still no ballistics, so the university's
He's
there,
slowly
he's
saving up for
getting
it.
there.
Oh. Demo?
Come on! Pathing! And they're dead.
3 demos.
3 demos for
fi-
2 fires?
That's such a good trade for Zuppi.
Pretty much.
Like, he could have done it with 1, pretty much.
Yeah. Finally, ballistics is coming in. And when I say finally, it's obviously faster than Zuppi, who seems to have deleted his university.
Apa sasananya
Mhm.
Baginda?
What do you
Looks
think
like-
that was?
Is he building a TC in the middle, maybe?
Ah,
Okay. So he sold 100 stone to get up, and then he's using the other 100 stone on that TC.
What was that?
Maybe you thought about building it there.
Maybe
and
he
then
thought
changed his
about...
mind?
No, he wouldn't have built a TC there.
I hope not.
I think it was a university. He deleted it and then decided to build the TC in the middle instead. Which means no ballistics for Zuppi at the moment. And that's going to favour MbL in the next engagement here.
Yep.
Not only that, but MbL's going to come in here maybe and attack
one
the
bill
wood
on
line.
the mill for sure.
There's the university now, so our suspicions were correct. And that villager's like, please don't hurt me, but ballistics, man.
Yeah. And just that many war galleys just
You can't-
staring down at him.
Escape science, dead villager. What do you think you are
Higher
doing?
learning is so powerful, right?
Yeah, he learned the hard way. Right, demo ship, not too bad to start things off, but a bad sort of positioning for Zuppi.
Yeah, MbL should be happy to take
He
a couple
should
shots
be
there.
happy taking the fight, I think, but kind of a little bit cautious because he's in so deep at the same time. It looks like Zuppi's going to back up a little as well. Again, defender's advantage because a lot of MbL's army is over here,
Yeah.
not actually in the right place. So although MbL has got the larger military count, it may very well be that Zuppi has more units over here to take the fight. MbL going to
Yeah.
back away
I think
until
it's
the longboats come in.
relatively even in that fight. The problem's going to be if those longboats try to come through here without the war galleys, they could be sniped off pretty easily.
They could be, but MbL would then maybe be able to sandwich. But either way, he's bringing the army of Zuppi over to the left while the boats come in from the right. He might pick off the fish, but Zuppi reacts in time. He knows this is coming, and he might want to perhaps get out of there, or perhaps try and head one of these armies off.
Zuppi's going to have some troubles though. Like he's so far behind the military now, and MbL has all of his army kind of close together. Like if he does the sandwich, he might have a good chance here.
He's too distracted by the houses, man.
I feel like he's deliberately attacking the house at this point.
Maybe. It's
Control room.
Here we go. Now he's going for the split. Not the split, but like the sandwich play. Nice micro from MbL there to pick off the fires. Once they're out of the way, I think he'll just commit to fighting this as the longboats come in from behind. Zuppi. Okay, what is MbL doing? I thought he'd just commit to fighting this and bring the longboats in.
I think he's just trying to just pick off a
Yeah.
unit or two here or there, keep running back and forth, force Zuppi to, keep changing his mind about where he's going.
Yeah, now he's trying to sort of converge. But he's still probably cautious about the fact that he's fighting under 3 docks. That does allow Zuppi to keep reinforcing here. But look at the military difference. It's 11 advantage for MbL. More ships could be coming over any second now as well. And MbL is just keeping Zuppi at home, but that's on the water. And we've been looking a lot at the water. What about
Zuppi's
this?
Well in the middle. He's got the one. Does he have another TC at home?
No,
just
2
the
TCs.
How about MbL? How many TCs does he have?
MbL's on 1.
One.
Is that going to be a faster imp then? Yeah,
Oh,
he's about to
God.
go up to imp. And it looks like MbL is just deciding that I'm going to win the water.
Yeah.
You know,
And then I'll strangle you off your resources.
exactly. He's thinking, you can have that land for now. I'll allow it. And then you'll pay once I get to imp.
And then is the ship coming forward to join the party?
Yeah, why not?
He's got it in control group by accident.
Well, MbL here, taking a good fight once again, keeping those numbers as low as possible for Zuppi. Zuppi's
Without
military count.
sacrificing his own military
Yeah.
at the same time.
Exactly, right? Like, military count for Zuppi has been around 20 for a while now, and the MbL is just increasing, so he's really doing well.
Getting on that wood line, that's so good.
He's hitting on those villagers so hard, and they're just running away from him. And MbL, Imperial Age, so close now. And Zuppi probably going to feel reasonably confident because he has got the middle, but he's going to realize that he's a long way off from him. And it's going to be really hard to win the water.
In theory, if he could click imp right now, he'd be only a little bit behind, considering his increased bill count.
80%
But
as well on the
right,
upgrade time.
exactly, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
If he clicked him right now, it'd be okay. But because he's so far away, he still needs 550 more food. Yeah,
It's a bit too far out, isn't
He'll
it?
be clicking up after MbL hits imp.
He's going for a castle any second now, and that castle will... Whoa, where's he going to go with that? There's so many places where he needs to defend. One castle is probably not going to be enough. He'll probably need more, but I mean, maybe at home because of how much raiding's going on.
Maybe like delete that lumber camp on the hill, just north of the stone.
Like here, maybe.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Yeah,
Defends the two
could
wood
be,
lines a little
but
bit,
it's going to be here,
which doesn't really defend anything.
which is really not the optimal position to defend the water. But there it is, and Imperial Age is in. Brace is coming in. Chemistry's coming in. Zuppi immediately pushing forward to try and kill what he can before the upgrades come through. But I think it's going to be really hard now because there come the longboats.
Well, MbL's not even going to bother doing galleon, right?
No, of
So
course.
there's not enough of them. Like he's just going to concentrate, keep making longboats, save up for elite longboat, and just be happy with that.
Yeah, and a landing as well. 5 villagers coming across, and I don't know if they're going to be able to do too much. He's going for the castle drop, but it's in range of the castle of Zuppi. So Zuppi,
So if he's paying
if he
attention,
does a tower, he could stop
does he
this.
have enough stone for it?
Yes,
Yeah, plenty.
he could stop
If
this.
he was paying attention, he could have done. Okay, now he's going for it. I think it might be too late now. 1 tower's not going to be enough.
Maybe.
He needs 2 towers, I think.
If MbL didn't send more villagers, I think 1 tower would work. Oh, sandwich! Down in the south, MbL's coming in
Oh,
from
no.
the rear.
Rip.
He's coming in from the right, and I think Zuppi's going to lose most of his navy now. In what seems to be... Oh, I saw Thalassocracy.
Yep, he's getting harvest, but he doesn't have that many docks left, I think.
No, we'll check that in a second. The castle goes up. It was not close at all.
Nope.
And the army or navy from Zuppi goes down. Thalassocracy means that the harbours are in place.
But look at it, 30 military to 0.
Yeah, -1 actually.
-1, actually. Yeah.
Oh, man. Now, the nice thing about Thalassocracy harbours is that they do only cost wood. So it's like, a mini tower that doesn't cost any stone.
It's literally
It's
a tower
spammable.
that you can spam wherever you want forever.
And there you go. So Treb now out for MbL in the middle. At least he got Thalassocracy before the castle potentially goes down.
Yep.
Zuppi's imp, though, and the problem that Zuppi has now is that the water's lost. What can he do in this position? I think he has to hold on to the land.
Yeah.
He cannot...
He has to do everything possible to keep this place.
Yeah, and he has to make sure, in the end, that MbL runs out of resources on his island and cannot access the resources in the middle. That's going to be hard. This is not like Tim versus Fire. This is going to be much harder for Zuppi in this game, I think.
And I think MbL's won water fast enough that he could still have a lot of resources at home.
Yeah.
So he can get the cannon gallons at some point. Right? And not struggle with them.
Yeah, exactly. And this is really where the challenge is going to be. Masonry coming in for both players now at the same time as well. Buffing up those castles a little bit. And I hear lots of villagers dying. I'm just not sure
Castle's
where.
just picking up a couple of bills in the gold.
Ah, okay. As
A lot of bills on stone there.
and Zuppi getting ranged here from the water as well. 9 range. There's Cannon Galleon. MbL nice and early on that, which is good because I think he recognizes as well, like I can do so much damage from the water. I'm uncontested on the water. Cannon Galleon's great to take out the harbors as well.
Yes, of course.
There's a lot of really good applications for Cannon Galleon on this map in particular, and I want to say MbL's got this. He did lose his castle in the middle, but with Cannon Galleon coming in and taking out that castle as well, he's going to keep this sort of pressure up, and I think Zuppi's just going to sort of get strangled here.
Yeah.
Look at this. He can't access any of his resources now.
He must have lost so many villagers at home, right? You see, there's just bodies scattered all over his island.
That's true. And even though he's lost quite a few, he's still got the villager lead. But it doesn't
Only just,
matter
though.
too much if he can't keep or get any military presence on the map. And it's really hard to get military presence on the map when it's a water map and you've lost water.
Yeah. He's trying to make some karambits to go snipe the trebs, but there's a bunch of longboats sitting right there to defend them. Right?
Oh yeah. I see the karambits. 4 of them, 5 of them. And well, that castle's not going to be up for much longer anyway, so with the cannon galleons coming in as well, things are
Elite
looking
cannon
dicey.
galleon soon, I think.
Can the cannon galleons reach anything in here?
Castle, it seems.
Yeah, they can. That's going to help. And that castle is a goner in the next volley. 3, 2, 1, dead castle. And even repairing his traps quite nicely here. In come the karambits. And then
Can't do
immediately
anything
they have
against-
to back away.
Yeah. Like, as soon as you see that many longboats sitting there, he has to go back.
This is a really, really difficult game for Zuppi now, and he seems to lame the resources here to stop MbL from getting them. But in the end,
He's going to get them at some point.
he's investing into these karambits now, and he's invested into them. They're practically useless, really. He's even housed because he lost his castles.
Yeah.
79 out of 65 pop.
So he's losing houses. Like, the longboats must be just killing random houses as well all around his island.
Probably. And that one as well.
Yeah, that one too. And we was like, I'm just going to house you forever.
Yeah,
That'll work.
that does work. And those villagers have got nowhere to drop off the stones, so that's going to get messy. And also they're going to get nailed by
Nice.
trebs
Trebs
and
and
cannons and and horse collar coming in for MbL.
Oh boy.
I guess he hasn't got many farms, so
He doesn't really care that much.
yeah, he doesn't really care. He's been fishing for the whole game. 6 fish for him at the moment still. A couple of trebs here for Zuppi backing up. Yeah, I just don't see a win condition for Zuppi at the moment. He's got to get back on the water, but that's going to be so
How much
hard.
MbL has? He's got like 40 boats already.
Yeah, he hasn't got a lead longboat, but he's outnumbering him massively. And Zuppi, it's going to be really tough.
Longboats aren't a horrible trade versus to walk into that trap shot. Aren't a horrible trade versus gamblers. Like, it's obviously not good, but you know, if you've got enough numbers, like he obviously does, you can take trades fairly well, I think.
Yeah, missing upgrades as well though at the moment. Zuppi doesn't
Yeah,
have
that's big
the
as well.
chemistry or the bracelet tech, so that's really not ideal for him. He's gonna lose a lot of fights if he tries to fight that. But I guess the harbors are buying him time. You know, they aren't doing damage, but they're buying him time.
Yeah,
Time to
stalling
mass
out.
up army, because if MbL wants to fight Zuppi, he's got to fight underneath the harbors, which he doesn't want to do. And so the other option is, okay, slowly kill them. And so, yeah, that gives Zuppi time. We've got Elite Skirmisher coming in right now for MbL.
And some rams, it seems.
And
Preparing
he's
a
trying
bit
to
of a
break
push.
through this wall with the cannon galleons. That's going to take a while. Wait, am I looking at the wrong wall piece? There
That's
we
why.
go. It's still going to take a few seconds. Come on now. There we go. They're so slow, these cannon galleons. Look at them. Takes a million years to reload. But he's through. Okay, there we go. And
Yeah, like, I don't think playing a long game is going to work with Zuppi. Like,
no.
harbors, if he's not behind, are amazing. But he's so far behind at this point that I don't see how he's going to keep this game going. Like, he's building another castle, and the trebs just waltz over already. Some cannon galleons as well running around.
Running around.
Yeah, well, floating, sailing. You know,
Cannon galleons can walk on water.
Yeah.
Today I learned.
they're nautical people.
Nautical people.
Yeah.
Oh man. Castle here from Zuppi is basically in the same place as it was before. I think that's probably a goner pretty soon. And the slow siege, really. It's the slow siege. The denial of resources
See, look,
by
those boats are walking on land.
sending your boats onto the land.
See, they do walk.
See, yes, they. Sorry, they do. And here's the galleons from Zuppi. Still no chemistry.
Buildings
but
and rams tanking.
it's still not a good place for him to fight, is it? No. Get out of there. Get out. And oh whoa, look, his TC's died. He has got the hill though. He has got the hill, so he's able to kind of fight these trebs quite nicely. And oh, nearly hits that one there. I'm still waiting for Elite Longboat from MbL.
I don't think MbL is going to get it at any point at this stage. Like, his economy is not strong enough for it.
Well, it's not that strong, but it's still stronger than
Well,
Zuppi's.
Yeah, that's true. But he doesn't really need any more upgrades except chemistry. Maybe
Zuppi, yeah.
like chemistry and careening. So like that's not. He could afford both of those right now. If he wanted to.
Zuppi.
Yeah. Oh.
No,
Right.
but MbL's doing Elite Longboat, so yes, he will end up with it. But man, this
He's
is a
gonna win.
messy
He's gonna.
fight.
I think he should win this fight before it happens anyway. The rams in front. The skirms tanking as well.
I do have to say, I love the use of rams in water maps. You don't see it all too often, but it's really effective.
Especially against the aliens. So they only do 1 damage each. They just sit there clinking away, doing nothing.
for sure, and they are very effective if you can get them into the right place.
Yeah.
Like this,
Like
for
this,
example.
yeah, that's perfect.
200 shots to kill them, and I don't know how many galleons he's got here, but it's not 200, is it? So
20-ish?
yeah, take a lot of extra shots in these rounds. And there you go. They're just soaking it up, soaking it up, soaking it up, and MbL's just at the back doing that. I like the fact with longboats as well. You can stack them up
So close together,
really
right?
close.
They're a
that's
very small unit compared
right,
to galleons.
and that's good for a few reasons. First being that it can kind of be deceiving. You don't really know how many longboats your opponent has when they're so stacked up because you can't really see. And secondly, you can put them in a really tight space like this and actually have them all firing at once.
And also, it just looks friggin' awesome when there's a huge rain of arrows that
And
just
that.
come out of nowhere.
Yeah, you can't forget the star points. Oh, karambits! Might kill the treb. Wow, I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked that they killed the trebs.
One.
One treb. Two, no, one treb. This one's still gonna die. Get wrecked.
Treb's got it though.
Yeah, MbL though, struggling a little bit on water, I'd say. He's actually kind of falling behind a little bit in the boat count, I think.
He might be struggling to gold.
36 warships for Zuppi, 30 for MbL. It's close, and oh no.
Oh no, he's running out of wood. He's running out of gold too.
He needs more choppers.
He needs space in the middle.
He's claiming the space in the middle, though. This is not like the game versus Fire, where Tim struggled to get any foothold in the middle at all. He's actually got units here. He's actually pressuring here, and I think in just a moment we should see a play from MbL to try and claim more of this middle area of land.
The skirms are running around just harassing villagers in the middle.
They are
Yeah. And
denying that watchtower, actually.
And Zuppi doesn't really have anything that he can make to counter skirms, right? Because he doesn't have a castle, so he can't make
karambits.
His stable's pretty shitty.
Yeah. Oh, don't do that.
That's the problem.
Don't do that. But yes, so MbL might be flagging a little bit on the water, but now is where he can start to push into the center a little more. This game is actually a bit closer than I
Look at the
anticipated.
villager count. He's double the vills.
He is. Zuppi's really struggling for vills.
And Zuppi doesn't really have any wood income either. Like half of his wood vills are trying to build towers in the middle, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised that Zuppi is back on the water in such force, but
He's basically invested everything in one big
He's
push
kind of
to try to get
traded-
back into it.
he's kind of traded the middle for the water, just as MbL is trading the water for the middle in a way. Now he's like, yep, I'll grab this gold. I'll carry on my longboat production. I will
Come
lock
forwards.
this down, and I will throw away my skirmishers to your traps.
And towers, and maybe a nice more shots.
Oh, the villagers. The villagers. What are they doing? That's never going to work.
Not when there's two towers.
Tell you what, the 53-minute watchtowers, that value
Right.
for Zuppi.
Everyone knows crushing is overpowered. It's still overpowered at 54 minutes into a game.
Oh yeah, it's so good. Mangonels though can actually really pressure this because you said that Zuppi doesn't have anything to counter the skirms, but now he has a Mangonel.
He's got the one mangonel.
Nice shots and another nice shot, and MbL's just stacking up in this choke point. The repairs are there, and that gold is getting denied. At this point, both players are denying each other the gold. No one can have the gold.
Right, and Zuppi's trying to make a wall to stop things from walking through, it seems. The gate,
Yeah.
the quick gate to stop bills getting in. Oh my god, there's so many units just charging forwards from MbL.
Oh, and he's killed the mining camp as well, so MbL can't even mine it if he wants to. And again, the villagers, the
The
ram.
ram is the problem.
Well, he's got vills here, so he might be fine. He's also got a mangonel, so you can also attack the ram with that.
Oh, the ram kills the
It's
mangonel,
close,
that's the
it's
problem.
close.
Because Zuppi can't afford to
close.
make a siege workshop to make another mangonel.
Well,
It's like
that's true.
he's entirely relying on this one mangonel to keep him alive.
He's got so many kills on this mangonel though. And what is MbL
And all
doing?
the vills have run away though, so there's nothing to garrison the towers with.
Oh, that's true. Maybe this is where he loses it. No, more villagers coming over. He saves it again. Oh,
boy.
the story of
And
this
they
mangonel.
appear to be fighting on water as well. Do we want to check on that?
No,
No.
we maybe do. No, they're okay. They're okay. We want to watch this mangonel survive.
Oh!
It dies.
GG.
Oh man.
GG. Rip.
MbL calculated risk, right?
If
Calculated
you send
risk.
enough villagers, you'll get it eventually.
So Zuppi is so much in a stranglehold right now that he's down to 39 vills.
Yeah.
He's still he's only on 1 TC at the moment because he lost the ones in the middle.
And he can't afford to make a new one.
Yeah, he's got no stone left because he's mined it all and, built castles and towers. He can't really take resources anywhere because these longboats with their 10 range are just killing everything. And at this point, Zuppi has only got a navy.
And
And that's dying
amazingly
too.
large either. It's just...
That is slowly dying. I think at this stage, when Zuppi looks at his population,
Yeah, when he notices he's only got 60 pop.
yeah, he should probably think about it. But if you're in Zuppi's position, you're probably thinking, well, MbL probably doesn't have much either because he's hardly got any presence on the middle.
That's true.
Zuppi's...
and he's trying to get some walls to stop the rams breaking through.
Yeah, Zuppi's at 800 food. That's about all he's got. And MbL is 800 wood. That's about all he's got. So neither of them really have much.
They should sling each other. Give them what they need, right?
Yeah, you send me some wood, I'll send you some food, and we'll keep this party going all night. But MbL does have over double the population, which means he has more military and he has more villagers. Even if they are idle, he does still have
Zuppi's just
more.
throwing away these villagers trying to get up these walls.
Yeah, that's true.
He's below 30 vills.
Rebuilt the
Oh,
siege workshop, the mangonel.
Get the vills.
The mangonel.
Good shot on the vills.
Right here. He sees it. He's backing up. He's lining it up. He's thinking, right, I'm just going to land the perfect mangonel shot. He's not actually, though. Oh, that was such a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, right. There's so many vills there.
Another siege workshop. I think he just wants to keep the rams out, right? Just stop the rams getting in. Keep the trebs alive. If Zuppi can keep these 2 trebuchets alive, he can eventually pick off every unit that MbL has.
Right, yeah, just keep trebbing down these skirms constantly.
He hits the shots on the villagers. That wood line is ugly.
Yeah, right.
It's so bad. And hey, you never know. Maybe Zuppi will eventually bring MbL down to 28 villagers here.
Two, yeah, right. Just this Hero Mangonel V2 doing his best. Although he's now got access to all that gold.
2 mangonels.
2 mangonels.
What a win.
But look, MbL's got the gold. He's broken through the walls.
That's true.
Why does MbL not land? Kind of because he doesn't have anything to land with.
Yeah,
That's
right.
kind of
Like
the
he
problem.
doesn't really like. What does he? Where does he need to kill villagers? He can't really kill villagers here.
There's like 10 of them. Like it's not really worth it.
He-
You need to get the middle, right?
He's better off just sending a couple of longboats there. And meanwhile, I mean, he technically has landed in the middle of the map.
Yeah.
In comes the army or navy of Zuppi again. Not good. Half
Nope.
fighting, half not fighting.
Oh, there's so many losses.
Ouch. And going back toward his harbours, which are always a safe haven for the Zupster.
Hide behind.
These walls are annoying though. Zuppi just knew at some point that these walls would work, and they have. Look at this one. It's mining the
Through
stone.
the diagonal.
It's mining the gold through the wall.
Oh, that is a determined villager.
This is advanced Age
She's
of
like,
Empires
I
right
want this
here.
gold, I'm taking. And then she goes to wood and drops it all.
That is not how you gold dig. That's not how it's done. Learn. Big learn.
Have you learned from that? Like, do you know how that works?
That's a big learn for me, Chief. Right. Oh man, Zuppi sitting here, getting
Think-
more and more mangonel shots.
On this massive skirms.
I just can't
There's the
believe-
cannon galleon though. The Treb's gonna die soon.
Oh yeah, that's true. I just can't believe this is still going.
Right.
Oh, boy. Oh, he
just
keeps the
says.
trap up with the repairs. Unbelievable.
Come on, mangonels. We need some good shots. Oh, there's the third one too.
Mango's just doing the D right here, and Zuppi's just happy to sit behind this wall and keep getting kills all day. He's got the KD advantage right now. He might not have many villagers, but
He needs to repair the mangonels too though.
he keeps it up. And, well, the vills keep dying.
Yeah.
He's losing villagers faster than he's creating them. it
Oh,
seems.
yeah, with only one CC.
Oh, I know. Let's repair this siege workshop. Oh, I'm dead.
Nope. The bills are gonna chop through the wood line faster than the siege workshop's gonna die almost. No.
It's
Bad,
dead.
Never mind.
Well, nearly. You weren't far off.
Yeah,
Robo.
I was
There's
very
only
close.
80 wood left on these trees. And the uphill shots means that they aren't killing the vills. And, well, it's a lot of skirms and a lot of dead skirms. But it's enough to let the rams through, let MbL's mangonel through.
Oh, we get to see the mangonel macro now.
Dead. And, well, nice hill advantage for MbL there. Microing against this Trebuchet will kill the Treb.
And he gets...
Oh, Neo! And he's died.
Okay,
He
there you
died.
go.
But still, good dodge. Got out of dodge. Again, this lumber line. What an absolute mess of a game.
Like, they're not even worrying about water. It's literally just microing against this manganelles
Yeah.
at this point in
And
time.
Zuppi's probably thinking, like, can I win this game with 3
Just-
manganelles? Is this possible? Yes, it is, because I'm still playing.
Is this Age
so
of
I
Empires?
believe it is. MbL should have deleted the mango. Maybe. But, I mean, one thing's for sure. MbL is slowly making progress here.
Yeah, well, it's just slowly chopping through all
Off
the
the
wood.
villagers again, going in for the mango kills. He's backing up toward the watchtowers.
And there's nothing garrisoned in the tower.
Nothing
So
garrisoned.
they don't shoot a lot.
He's trying to repair. The villagers are chasing him down. Hopping in now. Mangonels
One's
going
gonna
down.
die.
1 down.
Two.
The repairs,
the
no,
repairs.
the repairs, the repairs, and the blocks.
And then the Kanagalian's going to snipe them as they walk past.
To answer the question in chat, no relics in play.
There are relics on the map.
They exist.
Nobody has them any.
No
Nobody
one
has
cares
any.
for relics today. And I'm actually really surprised because MbL has got a monastery here.
And he also has relics on his island. Right, there's one on the left-hand side.
There's one right here. There's a relic here. There's a relic here. There's a relic
There.
here.
And there's one more at the bottom of
And
the
there's
piece.
one more here. So, relics untouched. You know, I feel like Zuppi probably could have claimed 4 relics this game.
That would be pretty useful
That would have
considering
been
how little
huge.
resources he has.
Yeah, it would have
Oh, the
been huge.
Mangonel micro, we're back. This is, we win or lose for this game. Microing these Mangonels.
Pretty much. And both players know how serious it is, so they're both backing up and repairing as soon as they get the opportunity. On the water, MbL losing on the water.
Oh, but he's teching into stables. There's going to be some scout cabs coming out
All
soon.
down to the skirts.
Oh, there's
Knights.
knights even. Oh, boy.
And both Mango's dead.
It looks like it. But
Mango for Zuppi still alive.
Zuppy's just going to die at some point, right?
Not before he takes down some more skirms. 5 more. And the Mangonel's just dead. No, repairs. Oh, he's repairing
he's
it.
trying.
He's repairing
There's
it.
so many
It's going to
bills
get
left.
out of repair range. And it's done.
Oh.
And it's GG. And it's GG.
The Mangonel decides it.
Yep, Mangonel down. Zuppi's like, well, I can't afford another one, so I guess it's over. Whew, GG. Maybe he saw the knight as well. That game really just was a test of the resilience of both of these players. It was a true test of resilience. Well played to MbL. He takes the win and gets a 2-1 victory over Zuppi. Hard fought in game number 3. It looked good for Zuppi. He had a lot of map control, but in the end, the water secured the victory for MbL, and he was able to overwhelm Zuppi in the center of the map. So GG. MbL will go through to the round of 8 to play against the winner of our next series, which will be coming up in a few minutes. Let's first of all look at the post-game achievements. MbL gets the victory there, of course, and he does so with quite a bit of style, I'd say. Zuppi ends up with the most kills and the least deaths, but still loses the game overall. Economy, pretty close in gold collected, but quite a landslide advantage for MbL in wood and food. There you have the timeline. So there we go. We're coming out of the game now, and we're going to take a look at, schedule first. Yinghua versus Say My Name. That's SY versus Vietnam Legends. Coming up next, our final set of the day, and we'll be back in maybe like 3 minutes. I'm just going to grab a drink, grab a bite to eat to keep the energy levels up, and we'll be back after 3 minutes for our last series, Yinghua versus Say My Name, aka VNA Yellow. Should be a nice match. We'll be back very soon.